what is going on, Guardians? Today we are not going to be dealing with the agents. However, I still am really enjoying Valorant, and we'll be getting back to those videos soon enough. But today we're going to be talking about some Destiny 2 build, one that I've been theory crafting for a while. And I just finally said, fuck it, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to get the mods I need, even though it's extremely boring, and I'm going to put this shit together, and I'm going to show it off in a video, and that's what we're going to do today. So we are on my Warlock, and we actually have a very basic end of the build. Basically, the whole build revolves around 5 mods, and the mods are Power of Rasputin, Taking Charge, Tyrant Surge, and High Energy Fire, along with Stacks on Stacks. So we are combining the 2 seasons into one build here, and it works really well. The entire idea of the build is just to give yourself bonus damage on top of bonus damage. The way we're going to do that is through our mods. So the first mod here is Power of Rasputin, and this is going to be the Warmind cell half of the build, where you gain bonus to weapon damage against enemies that are near Warmind cells. So we need to spawn Warmind cells. The way we're going to do that, rather than using a Warmind weapon, which you can do, which would only make this build better, you can run something like Tyrant Surge, which is a seasonal artifact mod where dealing damage with arc, melee, super, and grenade abilities spawns a Warmind. So if you're watching this in a future season, obviously you don't have access to this mod. And if there is a mod that lets you create Warmind cells, I would suggest running that. And if there isn't, then you're going to have to run some of those Warmind weapons, which I don't actually have any of, so I'm going to need to go farm those myself. So that's the Warmind half of the build. Now let's go through the other half, which is our Charged with Light half of the build from the previous season. You're going to need those mods as well. First one is Taking Charge. Become charged with light by picking up Orbs of Light. In order to make Orbs of Light, tons of those, we're going to be running Masterworked weapons. I do not have a Masterworked Arianas yet, so we're going to have to get that in the future. But that'll really complete this build as well. So we're running Taking Charge. Next one is High Energy Fire. So this says, while charged with light, gain a bonus to weapon damage. Each defeated combatant consumes 1 stack. So if we were to pick up an Orb of Light, then kill an enemy, then we're going to lose that stack, but our gun was going to be doing bonus damage during that. However, we don't want to do that. So we don't want to be having high energy fire rate every other kill. We want it every kill. So we're going to put stacks on our bond. We're going to lose 10 recovery, which is fine, because we're going to gain an extra stack with Charged of Light for every stack you gain. So every time we pick up an Orb of Light, instead of getting 1 stack, we get 2 stacks. And every time we kill 2 enemies, we get to create an orb. And when we pick up that orb, we get our Taken Charge right back. So we get 2 stacks, we kill 2 enemies, we pick the orb up, we get 2 stacks back. We're always going to have high energy fire rate active as long as we're picking up an Orb of Light that we're generating off of our Masterworked item. So that's essentially the build. The combination, we're going to combine Power of Rasputin damage bonus with high energy fire damage bonus for our weapon to give us as much extra weapon damage as possible. Included in that, you could add something like Swashbuckler, because in order to gen Warmind cells, we're going to be using our Arc Ball melee from our Warlock. So when we kill a guy with our Arc Ball, we have Spare Rations, Swashbuckler proccing to ×5. We have Tyrant Surge proccing, which is going to make a Warmind cell. And we have Power of Rasputin perking on all the enemies around that Warmind cell, giving us more boosted damage. We have a Swashbuckler now combined with Power of Rasputin. If we kill 2 enemies and we run over and pick up an orb, then now we have high energy fire procced. And if there's still more adds around that Warmind cell, we have Power of Rasputin procced. Or we can move on to the next set of adds, throw our Storm Grenade at it, proc another Warmind Cell, and then we have Power of Rasputin plus Charged with Light, but we don't have Swashbuckler. But basically the idea of the build is to always have a damage buff up at some point. So I'm here in the Tribute Hall just to kind of demonstrate it. You can do this in Strikes. In Strikes, this would be really good because you're going to have teammates making orbs with you. But as you can see, we're going to kill them. Generate an orb. Now we're Charged with Light, and we have Swashbuckler ×2. If, for example, we spawn some more enemies here, some more enemies there, and we Arc Ball her, you can see he's orange. I didn't want to hit him, but 12,000 damage right there. On a Swashbuckler, Charged with Light, hit with a Warmind Cell. So we just hit that guy for 12,000 damage. If we get rid of the Warmind Cell. You could always use the Warmind Cell to clear up ads if they're scaring you. Our base damage on this dog was 4,000. We tripled our damage at one point during that combination. So if we do it again, kill them both, pick the orb up, Swashbuckler is active. Let's get our Ball Lightning. Let's hit the dog this time so we can proc it on him too. So we've got our Charge with Light. We're going to hit that dog, kill him, and we're going to hit him for 3k. Charged with Light, Swashbuckler ×5. So we just hit that big Cabal guy, this guy, for 4k when we had everything procced. Now, if we don't have anything procced, we hit him for 2,200. We added 2,000, almost 2,000 damage to our build. We almost jumped up our damage by 50% just by doing this simple build. We don't even have Masterwork gear, so our stats aren't even that great. Well, we have some Masterwork gear. I actually didn't realize how much we had on this build. But we have some Masterwork gear. We don't have any mods that are going to increase our stats in the build currently. We don't have 2 pieces Masterworked, and we don't have reserves procced or fixed. We don't have scavenger perks yet. Anything like traction or things like that. The one thing we don't have in this build that's kind of upsetting is that we don't have an exotic. And I think Bungie, if you're going to keep going this way that you want people to build and theorycraft and things like that, give us an opportunity to put a seasonal mod on our exotics. Let us use our exotics the way we actually want to. And I think that's actually ruining a lot of the game and a lot of the build theory crafting, because if you go for the seasonal mods, you really are going to have to leave out an exotic to get the most out of them. I have a build coming up in the future where we're going to have an exotic that actually plays a part in the build. But right now, this build only functions if you choose to not run an exotic. And I think that's a stupid choice you have to make in a game all about power fantasy and things like that. So let's just go over the weapons really quickly. I have spare rations with Swashbuckler, obviously. This season, hand cannons are great because they provide 2 of the mods, the barrier champion mod or the champion mods. So I can either run Disruption or I can run Unstoppable depending on what I need. And then Swashbuckler is really good. Ariana's because it does the shield piercing ammo, and it's kind of like having a miniature sniper, but it also does the shield piercing, which is really important. So right off the bat, I can take care of 2 out of 3 of the barrier champions in the game. And then we had Hammerhead on before. We're actually swapping it to Edgewise because Edgewise procs Demolitionist, which will give us more grenades, which will proc more Tyrant Surge, which will proc more Power of Rasputin. And overall, that's all a really, really strong combination. So yeah, other than that, hope you guys enjoyed the video.